All right, welcome to Sound Clash. Thank you, Mr. DeSalvo, for joining us. We're going to do live music this week, so yeah. Want to just give me the name of the song?
Oh yeah.
Well, can we add a little more context to it? So live music, as it exists on albums, right? So like the idea is that somebody recorded a concert and it became a record. You got right. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
And
That's
so,
a great idea, but I didn't interpret it that way.
and I think it's open to interpretation. I'd like you to think about
Definitely.
the Kiss album, the Kiss Live album from 1977, I think, which was a live album to listen to, but which was recorded in a studio, and all of the audience that you hear and all of the banter between the band and the audience is all contrived. And I want to know, I would be interested in hearing your opinions about selling something as a live record that was totally machined in the studio.
That kind of chicanery sounds modern, like it would, would happen now.
Huh? Yeah, it was then. And why would they choose to do it that way? I know the answer to that. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean that seems on point for Kiss.
Right.
Like that's kind of their state.
Show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What, being live?
No, like it's all an act. Like I'm not really a cat, like whatever. Like they're wearing makeup.
Right, yeah.
But it's all.
There's
At the same time,
explosions on this
live
album.
show, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're huge. They're a visual thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you can probably capture a better audio, a better sonic product doing it in the studio, right? Just trying to capture it like on stage live, and you can't always predict what's going to happen, and you can't redo it. Right?
At least in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Now the technology exists to single track everybody live.
Yeah, and they could do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you could get really great products.
Yeah. The Lingus album by Snarky Puppy was completely done live in a performance venue, and everybody has a single mic hooked up. They're all in isolation headphones, but they're interacting with the audience. The audience all has headphones too, so they get the mix, not what's in the actual room, which is crazy, and there's video of it.
So they're getting the engineers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they're like live in the room too, which is an interesting connection with that. Yeah. And that's I don't know if you've watched the video of that. I didn't bring that one.
Oh.
But
That looks like Tom Petty.
it is Tom
Oh,
Petty.
is it?
Yeah, and Steve Winwood, Jeff Lynne.
Nice.
It's the thing I brought in is the 2004 induction into the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
For that, yeah. It was Prince's solo on My Guitar Gently Weeps as the moment.
That's a lot of
Pretty fond of this particular track.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a legendary video, and the solo just is so well crafted. He starts with a quotation almost of Eric Clapton's line from the original, with like these bends up to, I think it's an E, but he takes it up an octave to make it even like in a much higher range of the guitar, to make it like, yeah, his guitar is weeping, but he's really sad because now George Harrison has passed away.
Right.
And then the way he controls energy throughout his entire solo, he builds and he pulls back, he builds and he pulls back. It's just amazing to watch live in the moment, especially since he didn't do that in the rehearsal.
Oh.
He went to the rehearsal, and like the other guy, who was I think the guitar player for ELO, was supposed to take all the solos, and he was supposed to take the middle solo.
You were talking about Jeff or Petty, or say he? The pronoun he is.
Yes, sure. There's a bunch of them on stage. Gosh, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was the guitar player for ELO. Right?
That's not Jeff Lynne?
No, Mike, not Mike.
No. I think his last name starts with an M. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Mike Campbell.
They're all
Petty,
speaking in
right?
awe of Prince too, and that describes why.
Prince in that picture.
Prince is right there.
Oh,
yeah, he's got the hat, off in the corner.
And you don't think of Prince as being a virtuoso?
At that time, nobody knew. Really. Like, because, you hear studio stuff and you saw, like, Purple Rain and, like, you saw a stage show. It's like, he's a pop guy. He dances around on stage. That's his thing. But then this is where it kind of cemented
I'm unfamiliar with it, so I'm looking forward to it. And just a backstory on Eric Clapton, George Harrison.
Yeah.
George Harrison's first wife, I believe her name was Pamela, left George Harrison for Eric Clapton. That's why George's guitar was weeping.
Didn't Eric Clapton listen to that? okay? Who's trying to like?
Yeah, sure. I don't know how the best
You
way
guys-
to
you
do
guys-
it.
they'll move it up.
What's like the time stamp?
We'll say at like 3:20 is when his
Sure.
solo starts.
Okay.
An induction to the
Yeah.
There's a young man that does almost like
It's Danny Harrison.
Yeah.
This
I mean,
is Prince.
Yeah, this is Prince on the guitar. You should watch it. You should watch it.
I will.
Watch
Then he goes back in, yeah. On the telly. Knowing as much as you must be a bird.
Did you just listen to it?
Well, no, because I would never know that he's like doing the impossible.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You should watch the video. There's a moment in there where he winks at all the other guitar players on stage.
Really?
And then he turns his back to the audience and he goes over the side.
Goes over the side.
Yeah, like he just
Like falls?
falls. And then
Oh.
somebody's there like
Catch
holding
him?
him, pushing
Oh.
back up. But like they didn't know it was gonna happen because he didn't do that in rehearsal. Like that was all in the moment.
That whole thing is
Yeah.
mystifying.
Like a performer.
If I were getting inducted to the Hall of Fame and we're gonna do like My Guitar Gently Weeps, I just would be thinking French should be invited to help us out.
And then at the very end, I think we should just watch this together. At the very end of his solo, he throws his guitar up into the air.
Yeah.
And at least from the video, it never lands.
Oh,
At least
so,
from the video, so it
again,
just goes
more
like,
chicanery.
yeah, the apotheosis of the guitar just into the heavens. Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do that with your television.
yeah, just check. When we'll get when we get to the final end. Never resolves that tension.
Are you guys all familiar?
Yeah.
You are. Where do you get all the time to like experience it?
Well, YouTube reads your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, like it, yeah, recommendations, but yeah. That's,
So that was really
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
When I think live music, the moments like that.
Yeah.
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 We watched that.
Yeah, I think we watched it. We might have.
We
Yeah.
did.
Mhm.
Yeah. What did you bring?
Oh, you know what? Okay, so this is like first I was thinking about concerts, right? Like, now then I was thinking about like the worst concert, and I was thinking of Ben Gibbard. I went to see him, even though it was not Death Cab for Cutie. It was some weird project he was doing, and I love it. Then I have seen Judas Priest, and I don't think I think it'll be the second time I'm bringing in Judas Priest. You'd think I'm a big Judas Priest fan. I'm a modest Judas Priest. But they have a live track, and it was years after being exposed to it and listening to it that I found out it was written by Joan Baez. It's Diamonds and Rust. And recently, some of our folks back home may have seen the Bob Dylan film, Complete Unknown, which is really great, especially if you're not over familiar with the Bob Dylan story. I would recommend it. It's accurate from what I've read prior. But anyway, Joan Baez leaned heavily on Bob Dylan for songs. He wrote songs for her. She finally wrote a song, and she wrote it about Bob Dylan. And it is this song, Diamonds and Rust, which Judas Priest played live. I think the actual recording you're going to have was a show that was done in Japan. I'm not sure. But this, God, this is great. And I mean, Joan Baez, what did she think when she was?
I failed.
And you should listen to the Joan Baez version. It's really haunting. Beautiful. Yeah.
But that's not usual. It's just that the mood is low, and you decide as you go.
Is this live?
And here I sit, hand on the table, hearing my voice says no.
You can try to do that. No, that's what I brought. I just, because Bob Dylan, the Bob Dylan mood that's in the air these days,
Right.
Joan Baez, and, that I've seen Judas Priest, they're a great live band. We'll bring a Harley out, usually, Robbie Halford. So, what do you got?
Yeah.
Well, to be totally honest, I thought of it as I walked out the door to come up here, so it's sort of a late choice. And a live experience that I haven't had, but have seen. And it's nothing like Judas Priest. What I got is Fugazi and a live version of Furniture, a song with utterly ridiculous lyrics. But really, it's like, it could be something you see on a street corner, or in a small.
Is it like a live album?
Nope. And that it was just.
You saw Fugazi?
I have not seen Fugazi.
So, there's.
Well,
so
tell you,
the track's not live, you haven't seen the
I
band.
was like, I'm not gonna go through like stuff I saw. I disregarded that and I said, Fugazi's a great live show.
Okay.
And their lyrics are regularly nonsensical.
Yep.
I
And I've been
love this
listening to
song.
this a lot lately, so.
So this is sort of like belly button contemplation if you think about writing a song. No, but they are 311 ticket to success. Because they own it for you guys.
I had a girlfriend who they
Really?
yeah, it was not a success.
Are you guys familiar with this?
Oh,
wow, something you never heard, my God. That's great.
AC.
What'd you think of it?
Sounded like 311.
Really?
So,
Because I always, when I hear Fugazi, I'm like, this is nothing like 311. How is it that they heard 311 and said, you guys should be famous, so why don't you join us? And they were 311, of course, was Omaha's darling, West Side grad.
Well, with my age,
So that's interesting. You say it sounds like 311.
yeah, I would just 311's got that sort of bass. Funkiness, that,
So, yeah, like, is Fugazi still a thing? They still.
I don't know. I don't think so. But I was gonna say,
F-U-G-A-Z-I?
F-U-G-A-Z-I. I wasn't gonna call it, I thought this was.
You're familiar with the Waiting Room?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That song, that's
Fugazi
a
song.
Fugazi song.
That was really
Oh, okay.
What are the brothers, the Leibowitz brothers who own that venue and
Mhm.
Reverb Lounge? They, big Fugazi fans. Are you familiar with the River Sunday afternoon show with Dave Leibowitz? That plays alternative music. Oftentimes with bands that are coming from Omaha.
89.7.
Yeah, 89.7, and the show is called, The Waiting, no, it's called another title. of
It's
the-
another title of the song.
Yeah,
They always play Sonic Youth, but I don't know.
they end the show with Sonic Youth, and it's called, Your Buddy Dave, and,
What did you guys?
yeah, what's going on? Live stuff.
Oh,
Live
yeah,
album.
Yeah, I'll go. Okay, so,
This is just one that I personally like a lot. It's the whole album. I don't know if this is like, there's some albums that people say like, oh, there's not a miss on this album.
Yeah.
A miss?
Volpec Live at Madison
Oh, yeah.
Square Garden.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with them.
Volpe?
Volpec, VULFPECK.
Is it like a wolf pack?
Oh, like a wolf.
You guys, man.
Yeah.
Which song should we? I mean, there's so many. Like,
There are a lot of good ones.
I mean, like, we can do like literally. There's like not really too many. Misses
So,
at all. Maybe,
even
like,
before you play it.
Funkier or
Yeah.
Corey Long.
Yeah,
So is it
forward.
guitar forward? Like, what do you know?
I will say that all of my guitar playing colleagues, like the word, down at the Omaha Conservatory, like big musicians are all like, you gotta check out this Wolfpack album. You gotta
Okay,
check out this
yeah.
video.
Oh, they're great.
So the guitar, the bass, like all of them are just killer players.
Yeah.
They're very technically
Oh, yeah.
flashy, and then the music just grooves real hard.
Yeah.
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 Correct. Corey Long, yeah.
What is the name?
Corey Long. He's one of their guitarists. That's it.
And this is at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah.
So they sold out Madison Square Garden. But they don't have a record. They're all independent.
Really?
They play like
Yeah. Wait, when did this come out?
Give me a genre you would categorize it.
The closest thing would be fun.
Okay.
I've always thought it was
So live drums, but yeah.
Guys like
Got that disco thing.
Like that. It's like punk guy to them.
Oh,
Because this is too hard, right? Yeah. But sure, you cannot. The musicianship is unimpeachable.
Oh, yeah.
God dang. I wonder what it looks. Have you seen them? Are there videos of them?
Oh yeah, they're totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a whole this entire concert is obviously on any streaming platform, but it's also on YouTube. The entire.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
When I'm gonna
Yeah.
maybe check in on them. Will I see them interacting with each other?
Oh yeah,
on
they're
stage?
Yeah.
so interactive.
Okay, okay.
They're very like they don't rehearse like before.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just show up and then they just kind of.
Yeah, when I'm introducing the sounds of instruments to my 7th graders, I use a video clip from a Wolfpack stage show to introduce the sound of the bass, because there's this whole moment where they play the whole big crash of it, and then everybody stops except for the bass player. He starts playing another group, right? And he gradually, over the course of
He introduces a new
like,
group?
Yeah, he introduces a new group, and it starts off pretty simply, builds and builds and builds and builds, starts slapping, adding all this extra lines, and then the drums come in and everybody comes in, it's a new song. But the audience doesn't know, because it's just like, oh, he kept on playing, everybody knows.
It's all improvised?
Pretty much. Now, he was like, hey, just follow me, right? And then go. But yeah, so I use that as, because
That's pretty incredible.
very rarely will you hear the sound of the bass all by itself in like standard rock music.
Yep.
And then, because the way he builds it, he shows off the technique, so it's not just playing a whole note. And then you get to hear what he was doing when the whole band comes in, and so your ear can still track his line, and now it starts to train your ear so you can hear the whole band, but then also, hey, remember that bass groove? It's still there. There, you can tune your ear into.
That's very cool. Makes you think of Foghat.
Yeah.
Slow ride.
Looks great. Devin, what do you got?
I brought this album. This is Eric Clapton's Unplugged album.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite live albums. My favorite song off it is Tears in Heaven. Oh yeah. It's a little bit different than what we can bring. It's a bit slower, but I love this song.
It's different than what you're bringing by virtue of the fact that I'm familiar with. Yeah, this song's hard to hear in my heart. So, in this performance, in this concert, obviously it's him and his acoustic guitar. I heard a conga in the back.
Yeah.
So there's other musicians. I
Yeah.
probably have seen video
I have a DVD.
of the whole show.
Yeah.
Is it acoustic all the way through?
Pretty much. I mean, there's a piano player, like
Okay.
Chuck Liddell from Allman Brothers.
Oh, wow.
He comes in, but no electric.
You need to spend some time talking about this all.
Yeah, I was gonna work something from him, but I didn't.
Oh, yeah, maybe we can do a show.
Kevin, I really like that you're listening to, maybe food.
Yeah, I'm curious though. It hurts my heart because I have children.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, how does it resonate with you? A song about a dead child, basically.
I mean, I don't know, I just think it's a beautiful song.
It is beautiful on its own.
In the absence of a story, it's a beautiful song.
Yeah, it really is.
I feel like the story kind of has to it.
Oh,
I feel
sure.
like It kind of.
You can't escape it. Once you know it, you can't unknow it.
Yeah, there's like a video of him on YouTube, it's like a little short, and it's like some news interview.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah,
like, he was like, oh, it's
yeah.
the first time I was gonna play, and he like played
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah. Just sat on the couch and played it.
Okay, that makes me a
Can
little
I-
weak, so what do you?
Well, we're in a genre we haven't explored yet.
Really?
Gospel.
Oh, okay.
I'm not like religious, but I really like gospel music. There's a guy, Kurt Franklin. He's kind of one of the more modern gospel artists, but he gets these like crazy, like kind of funky musicians to come in and play behind him, and he's got like a choir and everything. So this is from like his tiny desk for PR.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never was.
Did he bring an ensemble of musicians with him?
Yeah.
Tiny Desk
It's
concert?
great. And the bass player is like crazy.
Oh.
You an organ player?
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
Who am I thinking of? David.
That's why.
Yeah, he basically yells like, don't look back.
That's why.
If you would have played that without identifying it as gospel, I don't think I would have ever arrived at identifying it as
But
gospel.
when you described it, I thought it was gonna be completely different.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of good. I thought it sucked.
So what makes that gospel? The lyrical content?
Yeah. I mean, like between like his tiny desk, like between the songs, he'll say, you know, the Lord is great.
Jesus like you.
Yeah. all that
This I
stuff.
know. Is the Bible.
But the thing, and actually the reason I found this guy was, like the keyboard player, this guy Sean Martin, and he's in that snarky puppy band in this dude song. We found out he just died, but he had 3 or 4 Grammys. He's just
Really?
yeah, crazy good.
So the Grammys will be coming up.
Yeah.
Um,
No one knows.
Yeah, well, it goes Oscars, then like the Tonys are in there, Grammys, and then
It's just gonna be garbage, like they're wearing a carpet. Garbage.
well, yeah, I think for you guys, probably the best Grammys are the ones that are given in the basement, in the back room, off camera. Because so many artists that come to Omaha have been nominated or won a Grammy, and you did not know, and you often have never heard of them. Well, that was a good
Yeah,
good
it was
theme,
fun.
man. Way to go.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, we'll see y'all next